usually locked in champ every season. I took a season off. Now I'm just fighting my way back up.
So is this where you normally play around? You're normally around sort of the champ.
Champ 1, Diamond 3 if I'm struggling, but right now I'm just building my rank back up.
Nice, nice. And you mainly play 2v2.
Mostly, yeah. I do play a good chunk of threes, and then if I'm feeling bad about myself, I'll play ones and then get handled and feel worse, but then go back into twos and feel better.
Yeah, ones can be a little bit tough. So, can you see my stream?
Yeah, I'm watching right now.
Alright, cool. So normally what I'll do, um, I'll go through. I don't know where you're at the moment, so I don't know how much you understand about rotation and positioning and things like that. Have you heard the
Okay.
terms like first man, second man, and things like that before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you kind of got a general understanding of sort of where you need to be and what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, for the most part, now and then I might cheat up or get out of position depending on the play, but for the most part, I'm pretty decent game sense.
Alright, cool. What I'll do
I think
then.
I got like 1,500 hours in game, like actual matches, but like 3,000 hours total
Yeah,
in like
it's
training and all that.
pretty good for champ, to be honest. If you're hitting champ, that's yeah, it's good, pretty good going. To be fair, so you're obviously doing something
Definitely
right.
feels like the last couple of seasons have been a struggle, but I think it's mostly just a mix between the chaos that is the MMR system now.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, playing on second accounts and things which you've got to take into account. But we'll get into it a little bit, and if I see anything, we'll kind of cover it. Good follow from your teammate. Bit of a strange one on this. Your teammate kind of turns around. I would have expected in this scenario, normally what would happen, once you've taken a kick off and he's following up like this would be his ball. And what you would do is you would turn and secure this boost and then back him up once we know what's happening. Not quite
Yeah.
sure why he turns back, but in that scenario, it's kind of good that you carried on going.
Yeah, for the most part, I guess you can't see it from here, but like I'll be spamming my ball cam on and off here and there just to get a view of my surroundings, trying to keep an eye on the teammate.
Yeah. So we do pick up a couple of pads. This is a very risky challenge.
Yeah.
I can see why you've went for it, because the ball's coming towards you. You just need that 50. And it's a little bit unlucky that it goes back over your head. One thing in this scenario, your teammate gets a really poor touch against the corner, which is always gonna just kind of fall back to them unless he gets a lot of power on it. What I would do in this scenario is, especially seeing as though you're low boost, is just drive challenge and then come and try and secure this.
Okay.
And you're not committing to the play then. See, as soon as you kind of go and you flip into this, you then putting all your chances on your teammate here getting back. In twos, you kind of always got to play a little bit safer when we're second man. But
Okay.
yeah, best thing that you could have done is fake challenge him. Best case scenario, he hits it away. Then we can get the boost and just chase the ball down and gain possession and do whatever we want. Worst case scenario, he doesn't get faked and he carries on. But by that time, we come round and we get boost and we can try and catch up to him that way. But by going in like this is what we'd call like an all-in play. So the only way it
For the bit.
works, yeah, is if it's it's going to work some of the time. It's just not
About
going to
50%.
work the majority of the time. Yeah, Rocket League is a lot about percentages and what's the highest chance. So I'm not going to say something's not always going to work, because if that ball's slightly further towards you, you can hit that off the corner and beat both of them out of that play. So it's kind of judgment, but yeah, especially this early on in the game when you don't know what kind of player your teammate is, I would just play with a lot of caution to begin with. Kind of feel it out first. Did he get bumped off this? No, he just went for a squishy. Interesting. One thing I'm going to say with your cheat. Oh, I shouldn't move my mouse, should I, at the same time? I don't know if this... Did he quick chat that he was trying to get it left?
I didn't say anything quick chat.
Alright, I would always just cheat up straight.
Okay.
The reason being, there's kind of three ways this can go on the kickoff. Obviously, you have the win if it goes in their half. You have a neutral kickoff. That's a weird N. My bad. And then you have the loss. So we want to be able to cover all three of these.
Okay.
Both sides of the pitch as well. So the reason why we cheat up slowly and gather these two boosts is because by the time the kickoff's taken, we'll be about here. And what I like to use is what we call a traffic light system. I'm sure you've seen a set of traffic lights. I'm not sure if they're the same as in
Yeah,
the
they're the
UK.
same. I don't know what the term itself means. I definitely saw that in I think it was your coaching chat earlier when I looked at it.
Mm-hmm. So when we're waiting to see an outcome of a play, we're obviously on an amber light or orange. We don't know what's going to happen with this 50, which is...
Oh, your audio cut out.
Oh, my bad. So, can you hear me now?
But I'm back watching the stream now.
Alright, cool. So, and what I was saying was with our traffic light system, obviously we have three coloured lights. Red obviously means stop, means you can't go for the ball. Generally in this scenario, the opposing player would have clear possession of the ball. Either they're definitely beating you to it, or they've got the ball under control dribbling it. So amber or orange would be that we're waiting. And by waiting, that doesn't mean we're sitting still. We're either shadowing the player or we're softly moving towards the player or closing distance slightly. And our green light obviously means that we can go for the ball. So in this scenario with the kickoffs, obviously we don't know what's going to happen in the mid yet. So we're softly creeping up until we see that touch. Because obviously we don't want to turn left and then the ball ends up going this side. It puts us at a disadvantage, doesn't it?
Okay.
So you can softly cheat up until this point. Obviously, when you get a little bit higher, especially in GC, they'll speed flip this first bit and kind of get to this pad, and then it's a race on for these two mid boosts.
Okay.
So either it'll go high in the mid if it's a clear 50-50, or it'll stall, or it'll go to one of the two sides, generally speaking, on two people that are good at kickoffs. But like you said, in sort of chamber and stuff, people aren't 100% consistent at kickoffs. So I'd advise until you get a little bit higher, just using this sort of soft cheat method, and then waiting until we know.
Okay.
But I'll go a bit more into that. Luckily, it does come this side. Same thing. What we've got to remember as well in this ball, that our opponent pushing us is going to be on 0 boost after the kickoff. Always something cool to remember, that even if he goes for it, he's only going to have one touch. So we can kind of play this a little bit patient here, which we do, because he backs off and gets that middle boost. One thing I would say in this play is it's thinking about our hit angles and what we can do with the ball. One thing that people get into a big bad habit of doing is always hitting this ball straight down the pitch or straight towards the net. Looking at this from this angle, we know that our teammate's just taken a kick off and we can see the two players in front of us, can't we?
Yeah.
Both of these are covering this area. So where would be the best place for us to hit this ball?
Or up.
Yeah, so one thing we can look at doing is either controlling it and taking it up the wall, depending how confident we are with our mechanics. If we're not as that confident with our mechanics, what we can do is look to place this ball along towards our teammate. He's going to be grabbing this mid boost. And if you place this ball across into this area somewhere, he will turn for that. He kind of puts these two at a disadvantage. Then you can kind of help him by moving up into this middle zone because he'll be pushing this way.
Versus just losing possession like I did.
Yeah, it's just it's a bad habit that a lot of people do get into, is not thinking about our touches and not taking our time on our plays and realizing what our opponents are doing at that time and what would be the sort of best outcome. Because kind of what we're doing in this scenario is hitting it straight back towards them, and we're kind of saying, right, let's see what you can do with this ball now. Rather than saying to them, I'm not going to give you this ball. This is my ball. I want my team to have this. See, this guy kind of gets it for free. He doesn't have to challenge anyone. So it's just a bit more mindful on them plays. You don't have to attack straight away. I like this turn though, that we don't. I like the fact that you haven't gone back for any boost. You can still make a play on this. I would.
Again, yeah, I push while my teammate's still pretty deep.
With this scenario, so this is where we decide that we're going from here. Again, like I said, this falls back on our traffic light system. This guy's on the wall facing this, so he can still kind of jump for this. This guy's here waiting to go for this. He can still jump for this. Two possible players to go for this. It's a question mark. It's an amber light, isn't it? Because we don't know quite what's going to happen yet. So in this scenario, we don't want to play it all in. We can wait a second on this for our teammate to come back a little bit. Wait for these guys to make their touch. Say if this guy plays this soft clear this way, we've got our green light to then go for that.
Okay.
But yeah, there's no rush. They can't score from this. So just play a little bit patient and wait and see what he does. Yeah, so kind of see what our teammate's doing. He's kind of waiting for you to get back a little bit in this scenario. And the opponent's taking control of the ball. Okay, so if we break this down a little bit slower. Can't remember how to, yeah. So he's got control of the ball in this scenario. And our teammate's creeping closer and closer and closer to the player. What happens on this play is he's progressing down this way. We're still on our amber light, slowly creeping up. This guy doesn't flick soon enough. So once we get to about this distance, we know we can challenge. And this is our green light to go for this ball because he hasn't flicked yet. That's the ideal scenario for us if he takes control, is that he doesn't flick it. If he does flick it past your teammate, that's fine. We want that because you're going to be there to collect that. So this kind of, he's giving you time to get back on the player. And that's kind of how it works out in twos. A little bit unfortunate 50. This was a lot better, to be honest. maybe not the best positioning because the corner's probably one of the worst places you can be in Rocket League. But their second man commits to the player and misses it. He's playing too aggressive, so this is a chance for us. One thing I would always get into the habit of doing is, I know we wanted to secure this boost, but we come around this way. Use our amber light to come through this way and wait front post, but make sure that you have what we call a positive hit angle. So have your car pointing this way. At the moment, we've got what's called a negative hit angle. If we imagine headlights coming out of the car. It's just going to make your touch out a lot easier, because if both of these commit to this player, we've got first and second man, and the ball drops, they're both going to be stuck in this corner somewhere. We want to try and take advantage of them being out the play and make an attacking hit as quick as possible and use speed to our advantage. And that's going to help you. It's going to make you feel a lot less awkward on defending and things as well. Great positioning, by the way. This was quite mature. I see what you did there. Obviously, we didn't get the touch we wanted. We come down here. Teammate decides to come and take the ball. So then what you decide to do is take the second man spot and come in here. This is perfect. This is exactly what you want to be doing. If he wants to take the ball and take possession, let him.
Okay.
Especially when you're solo queued and things like that. People are going to do it.
8% time I'm solo queuing.
Yeah, you kind of just got to play around people because people will be people.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this kind of zone, this D here, this is their most dangerous zone. We can kind of extend it to where the posts are a little. But ideally we want to be positioned somewhere in this zone, especially when our teammate's in the corner. Get this ball to come across. This is great positioning, because if he hits the backboard, it comes down here. If he does an infield pass, it comes across here. You know, if he pinches it and it hits off the ceiling, it's going to come back here. Any type of scenario, that's all wins. Any of the losses, he gets beat over his head, it comes back this way or comes down this way. We're in this like amber light zone at the moment where we're waiting to see what happens. From the track that you take, you're giving yourself two options. You can still turn and attack, but you can also still either turn left or right and still defend as well. So this is where the traffic light system comes in. So you're kind of covering both options. We're playing a little bit passive to see the outcome of this play, because we still don't know what's going to happen yet. So this is exactly right what you did here. This is much better. And we kind of
should have kept committed, but
it's what we do is, this is really good. I'll put on 25 and see this preemptive turn.
Yeah.
This is what stops you here, because we've already turned, because we haven't seen the outcome yet. We're kind of assuming that this challenge, we're assuming that he's already beaten. So we make this turn. But in reality, we're still on an amber light. We still don't know what's happening yet. So your distance is pretty good. It's just this little turn that stops you from getting this goal. Slightly unfortunate, but it's going to happen. Good beats. I like that play. And that's just a little bit unlucky as well. Once we finish on this player, I would have the confidence here just to get out as quickly as possible. Just in your teammate that he's going to take over this. Best thing you can do, you are facing this at the moment. drive, see if you can grab a couple of these pads. Or you can even swing a little bit wider and come around this way and kind of get back into this zone and wait and see what's going to happen, because your teammate's got free possession. He can move across and come behind this ball and collect this. Either have a shot if the net's still open, or he can hit it off the wall back middle. He's got quite a lot of options, and we've got quite a lot of time because these both went for this ball. So just be a little bit more patient, because it's more important that you can support this player with boost than it is off going for this straight away. This is perfect. This is exactly the same. You're kind of getting better as the video goes along. So we play this amber roll really well. We wait patiently. Okay, so he's got a touch now. He hits it towards us. Brilliant. It's perfect for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
What did we do that made us feel a little bit awkward in this scenario, though?
Preemptively, again, turning towards.
It's fine to do, but what we do is if we imagine what we call a line of attack towards, it's probably somewhere like that, towards our net. We kind of come past this line and then turn this way from this direction. When you're waiting for his hit, what I would do is come across this way and kind of wait in this middle. Try and position yourself in between the ball and the goal, but this sideways position is going to be the best thing. So we can wait for his touch, we can see while we're softly creeping up. Because we've got to ask ourselves, what's he doing with this ball? Is he going to catch it? Is he going to hit it? Is he going to play it to the side? We still don't know that yet. So same kind of thing. Just waiting off to see that touch. This is where it becomes difficult though, because if you were closer than this, like what we were here, you do have to turn back to be ready to cover the hit if he covers it, if he hits it down.
Okay.
But we don't want to be facing backwards like this straight away. It's kind of a balancing act of distances. You are quite close, so I can see why you've turned, is what I'm trying to say. So it's not a bad touch. You get it high enough so that they're awkward. So you actually dealt with this really well, to be honest. You didn't let them get too far down the pitch. But obviously, so what we did, we turned this way and we get the flick, and we got the flick up to here, and then we continued to attack it this way. Most, could say, lower Grand Champ players will 50 you at this point. When you get that flick, they'll be ready for it. They'll see you there. So it will be more beneficial that you do come further back and then turn, so that you can pop it up and air dribble. But what you did is not wrong. It's just it'll work against champs, but it won't work when you get higher up.
Okay.
Another thing I want to mention here is don't be scared about going for their boost on this. Because this is a slow moving ball into their corner. It's going to take them a little bit of time to get some going. We want to put them at a bit of a disadvantage. So yeah, don't be afraid to just grab their boost and steal it off them. Yeah, you're quite a patient player. I quite like this, where you're kind of waiting behind because he's not coming back. He wants to stay on the ball with low boosts. You just kind of got to let them do it. So yeah, it's good decision making there. Yeah, and he scores from it. That's fine. But yeah, he scores from that because you don't overcommit. and you stayed back to protect it. So it's good decision making to know that you don't need to go for that ball, because a lot of players do just, I don't care if you're there, I'm going to jump clean past your head and go for that ball anyway. We've all seen it happen, haven't we?
I have my moments.
So kickoffs without front flip. So the front flip's probably the worst kickoff you can do, aside from driving up. Have you done much
Yeah.
training with speed flips?
Not a whole lot of speed flip training. I do diagonal flip most of the time. That one is just bad angling on my stick there.
So with this one, which way do you generally tend to flip? Do you tend to flip towards the left or towards the right?
So typically, if I was going for that one, I would go forward, turn a little bit to the right, and diagonal flip left side.
Yeah. So it's not too different from a speed flip. So you do the same thing. You kind of turn a little bit, it's almost like a small flick. But if we imagine our analog stick, to do our speed flip, we go up here and then straight down here.
Cancel it out.
Yeah, it's literally, and it's literally like that's how fast it is.
I did just switch to square dead zone today to actually get a little bit of easier time on flip cancels. So that's definitely something I'm going to be working on.
But yeah, it's something that definitely worth having, because it can help you a lot with movement around the field and recoveries and getting back a little bit faster. You know, obviously you can boost through a speed flip as well, so you can get there a lot quicker. It's a bit difficult because on kickoffs, that's not always beneficial. Because if you hit this ball first and then he comes through afterwards, it's going to go straight back past you, isn't it? But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely be looking at just practicing them in even in free play. There's Musty also has a training pack with a kickoff, so I don't know if you've seen that one before.
Yeah, I have it. I haven't touched it in probably 2, 3 years though.
It's something definitely, because it's, I mean, I use speed flips everywhere on the pitch. It just helps you out so much. He does exactly the same kickoff, to be fair, so it's not too bad. So
Again,
I kind of liked what you did. Teammate goes for this mid boost. It's exactly what he wants to be doing. That's perfect. He should now chase this ball down. What we did is we take this kick off, we land here, and then we come down here. But what's the issue?
miss every puck, miss every pad.
We missed every single pad, and there was quite a number of these on our way. But what we can also do is grab this one. So don't be afraid to come out of the play a little bit to go and get this one off these. He's going to have this one. What this then allows you to do, because this play isn't going to develop straight away. This guy's not going to be like GC3 level where you can get the ball up here and air dribble it all the way to our net quickly. He's going to have to get this boost and take this up this wall. You've got your teammate to challenge yet. So we have time to get this. And then use our amber light to come back down this way. And thinking, right, what's happening in this play? Then we can make our decision. At any point, we can turn in, or turn back, or flip back. This is where we use this amber, because it kind of gives us this middle ground. So something just to be wary of. Just be more efficient when we're off the ball. And we went, so you went all the way back and still didn't grab this boost. So at this point, we made this loop, come here, and then come back up again, and we're still 0 boost.
Yeah, I was relying on the pucks because this time I didn't miss the pucks on the way back up. Well, not all of them, but
But yeah, I would definitely commit to one of these two at this point,
Okay.
especially when you've already came all the way back here. Even if you flip out and you get to this point and you've missed most of the pads, I don't mind you coming for this one. Once we're back here, yes, we can kind of take this line and take these pads. That's doable. But yeah, once you're out of the play this far anyway, you can go for this. Just as long as you don't boost back up afterwards and waste it all.
Okay.
Which I've seen people do. I've seen so many people go back for 100 boost and then boost back up to the play, and then they're in the play with 30, 40 boost. You might as well have just grabbed 3 pads. Oh, that's unfortunate. I just want to cover this a second there. He flips it away again. This is perfect. Even though the ball's close to him, he flipped at it. We know we've got our green light to challenge our 50. It's just so unlucky. How that ball does not hit you when it goes past here as well, I'll never know. What am I going to say to you at this point? The ball's in their corner, isn't it?
Yeah, could grab that corner boost of theirs again.
Yeah. Yeah, because we want to, obviously we want to grab this one. This is obviously our neutral boost. But this is enemy's boost, so we grab them. That puts our enemy at a disadvantage. Always want to try and steal these first if we can.
Okay.
Just a little bit far out of the play at the moment. Because the ball, one thing that I've always said is that this speed of the play that's coming through here is, I'd say, like a medium pace, isn't it? It's not slow, but it's not incredibly fast. So we want to be at a medium distance. We want to be about here. If this player was moving fast and this ball said bounced off here and, this guy could boom it, then definitely I would be more sort of where you are now. But he's kind of dribbling it. He's kind of keeping it close. We can definitely close this distance.
Yeah, definitely left a little bit of a threat gap.
He just throws it away anyway, yeah. What do we do wrong with this ball? What do you think was the bad decision?
Slapping it away versus controlling it.
Yeah, one thing we need to remember in Rocket League, when these have hit the ball to us and gave us possession, we don't want to waste it, do we? These are a little bit of a distance. These are giving us space, so we want to take advantage of that space, ideally. The problem is that we use our flip here. All we need to do is just softly drive into this and catch this. We can take this up to this wall under control. We don't need to flip into this ball. Our teammate's going to be covering behind us. So we can take our time, take this up the wall, and either try an air dribble or even get it next to our car, and we can even just flick it mid if we're not confident with air dribbles and things like that. But I'm assuming you okay at air dribbles. You've done a few before. You know where you.
Oh yeah, I'm not consistent like a GC in no means, but I definitely.
GCs are not consistent. I promise you that.
More consistent diamonds.
But yeah, I would definitely yeah, there's just no need to flip into this ball. I'll just be a little bit more almost
More
patient.
on it.
Yeah, definitely patient. Yeah, just trying to use our space to our advantage. It's fine. Teammate does exactly the same thing, which is unfortunate because he could have caught this and flicked this. If he catches this and flicks this, both of them, I can guarantee you now, if we were to catch this ball here, take it forward a tiny amount, and then flick this to their backboard, both of these are going to go from this position and they're both going to go flying over here. I can 100% guarantee you that. The one thing you'll find in these kind of ranks that people love to dive at the ball. take that to your advantage. If there's two people close like this, sat on the goal line, if you put something near this goal, they are both going to go for it, 100%.
All right.
I like this turn back. This is really good. Get our boost. We get the control.
Flipped off
Unfortunate.
of it again, controlling it. And then I go slow falling all the way downfield.
It's a great rotation though. Yeah, absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong in that play. It was an unfortunate mechanical touch off the wall that you couldn't follow. That's just mechanics. That's just practice. There's nothing I can say now that will help you improve that apart from you spending time just working on that in training packs and in free play. The bad decision was that your teammate, he committed to this play here and got beaten, and the ball went luckily to the corner, and he's played it around. Higher up, they would have probably scored from that because players are obviously a little bit faster. But yeah, we grabbed a couple of pads on the way back, and we did a really good back post rotation. So I don't mind this. You did what's called timing your arrival. You timed your arrival really, really well. You arrived at the back post with momentum, with a relatively okay hit angle. You know, you can turn a little bit and get this ball quite easily over towards this direction behind this, because these are very close up. We want to try and play this ball over towards this mid boost. Our teammate's going to be jumping. He's going to be landing somewhere around here. So if we can get, you've done all the hard things right here. You can get a decent hit over towards this mid boost. Our teammate can follow that with his boost. So, let's see how this. You get a great touch. Our teammate was coming this way. That's my bad. And we gain possession. Nice little touch just to take control. This was perfect. This little section here of defending was great from you. A little bit heavy of a touch, which is unfortunate. But you took the ball from them scoring to their goal line. So it's a lot of things. Although you didn't score from it, you're now you transitioned onto attack. So really, really well played. Made a lot of right decisions in that little play. It's good defending from your teammate as well. This last kind of 30 seconds, 40 seconds, your team's kind of taken control of this play, this game now. We're kind of dictating the play, which is very good. So we're low boost here. What do you think is the best play when we're low boost?
I'd say probably going for the block, like try to bump them or the demo versus just trying to get it out of there. I mean, my mentality on it was just getting it out from Doc's hands before it gets sent back down center.
We know he's going to challenge for it. We're low boost, so we can't do too much with the ball. But we've got our teammate behind us. This is about having confidence in our teammate. This guy's flipping back. He's going for boost. We can get 50 here. We get 50. Okay. We get 50-50. And you can kind of train 50-50s so that you can kind of lose them slightly. So you kind of done it in a way. See, we're positioned sort of on this bottom left-hand side of the ball. If we're positioned behind the ball slightly on the left and jump so we hit the ball halfway up so that it doesn't pop up in the air when he challenges, we can 50 this ball so it forces softly across for him to follow onto. This is like losing a 50 on purpose. You can even just 50 it if you want to simplify it. You can even just 50 it and be behind the ball right in the center. But make sure you single jump when you're doing a 50. Because if he just drives and you single jump, it's gonna go straight back over his head.
Okay.
But yeah, if you're low boost and you have unsure and you don't want to just give possession away, just get that 50. Yeah, he does a weird touch, which ends up positive for you. Same thing again. I would let your teammate go for this. Never mind. Okay, so in this scenario, we're a little bit in trouble, aren't we?
Yeah, massive gap. Teammates just getting
Yeah, teammate
either, I mean, 50% chance he's going to be on play side or opposite side.
teammate's got boost. He can kind of start to close this distance a little bit, but he's at a disadvantage, isn't he? They've got two, we've got one. So we need
Yeah.
to equal that out as soon as possible.
Okay.
So we have, if we think of this pad lane down the middle as our emergency lane, this will give us 5 or 6 pads. But also, what you'll see is a lot of people do is their guys supporting the player will generally drift across and want to go middle. So when we're on our way back, we're trying to get back as fast as possible. This is obviously going to be the fastest way back. This guy's going to want to creep middle. What do you think is going to happen if he comes in middle?
He's going to get thrown off the play. I'm going to get demoed, or he's going to get demoed.
He's going to get demoed because we're not going to let him demo us. And we're going to leave.
This game has a weird thing about, like, I could be going supersonic and then
It's, yeah, some demos are
suddenly
so scuffed.
I'm dead.
I've hit a guy in the side and I've been demoed.
Yeah,
I've got a
no,
clip of
same.
it somewhere. But yeah, if we can kind of get back as fast as possible, and if we do
I
get the
definitely,
demo,
again, that threat gap is massive on this one.
we can turn this into a 2v1 the other way around if we get the demo there and support him. But yeah, something to definitely think about because we've got boost as well. So we could be flipping back straight down this middle. Teammate deals with it relatively well, actually. He's done a good job there. Teammates, he's made a couple of mistakes, but it's relatively been pretty good teammate, to be honest. He's been pretty decent.
He was one of the more favorites I've had tonight.
So this is
I should have went back.
it's a combination. I don't mind you staying on this because we are still on it, and we. But at this point, when we're backwards, we should just flip out at this point. I don't mind you staying on it up until here, and then but as soon as he gets this touch and we're kind of like awkward, this is when we should. Normally, you can drive up the wall a little bit, just come behind your teammate, and then regain this middle position. With about this distance, because we don't know what's going to happen yet. What happens is your teammates will get impatient and they will creep closer and closer and closer until they get a good hit over both of your heads. Which is kind of what happens here. He gets bumped and he gets a hit out because he crept up a little bit too close.
Right here too again. I went for the commit instead of trying to get the recovery.
So what your position is really good. So we start to use this emergency lane, but we kind of go in a shadow position. But the problem is that we commit to this player, we flip, and once you go for a flip in the Rocket League, it's kind of like you're kind of saying to this, right? Either I hit this ball or it's a goal for them.
Okay.
You kind of putting your eggs in all into one basket, so to speak. But what we can do is we can just stay next to him, stay close, but shadow him and follow him down. At some point, he's going to make a touch that will allow you to go for that ball. So on all this, when he's got it under control, or he's got it close to him, then we're on our amber light all the time. As soon as he makes a touch, if he gets it on his car and flicks like this, that's when you jump.
Okay.
But once he's flicked it, once we know for definite where the ball's going to go, at this time, you know, he might slow down, he might run out of boosts. At that point, we can cut in. But also, our teammate's going to be behind. He can demo him. You know, I don't know why his teammates just drove him off for boosts this way, but yeah, there's a lot more options. There's a lot more time than what you think you have on this player from where you were. So just be a little bit more confident and just continue to try and get back, because you will get a chance to go for it. Let's see how we cheat up on this kickoff. So we preemptively turn again. Do you generally try and go behind the kickoff taker?
Yeah, I usually, whatever side the play's on, I'll usually start to turn on if I'm cheating up a little bit. But in twos, like that was one of those things that I was always told was like, you should always be cheating up a little bit.
I would, yeah, so you kind of do, you're either one of two things. We should be either, if we want to play defensive, say we're 2 goals up, you can turn for this boost. And then by the time you grab this boost, if you slow down just slightly here, when you grab this boost, you can still see this kickoff will be happening about now. So then we can use our light system to either turn up and go for our green light, or no, we need to defend, we can turn this way.
Okay.
So this is kind of when we see the outcome of this. At the moment, you kind of, the other option is obviously the soft cheat like we spoke about, and then waiting for it here. And then making our mind up, either we're going the play or we're turning back. So this is kind of this same scenario, but just this is defensive and this is more attacking. At the moment, we're kind of in no man's land in between, and we've got no boost to follow up on a play properly. If we do, we've got a little bit, but if we're using our attacking one, we can secure one of these. If we're using our defensive one, we can secure one of these. Boosts are so important at the start of twos.
Okay.
Very, very important. So if you can get possession of the ball and a boost, especially when you get more confident at things like air dribbles and things, you can pick this up with full boost and air dribble it just towards their net. So many goals are scored from kickoffs in twos. So it'll give you the best possible tools to deal with what's to come next, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You can deal with a lot more outcomes from the kickoff. So you kind of preemptively turn, but this is like panic station C. The ball's above our head, worst camera angle, because we kind of like preemptively turned.
Can't see any of the opponents. Missed the boost. Went for control.
This is fine. This is a great touch, slightly heavy because we flipped. We didn't need to flip. If you're going to control it, never flip. Just softly drive into it. Just get a touch. But you dealt with it relatively well for the situation. But that preemptive turn is how we're following up on kickoffs, is what's making it a little bit difficult for us at the moment.
Okay.
What a save that is. That's a pre-flip as well.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. That's a really good save.
I have some nutty I gotta find them, but on my PlayStation mostly a bunch of like the most insane saves, especially for the ring.
I'm gonna slow this down slightly. What's the problem with this scenario?
Again, I'm turning off preemptively.
Yeah.
A little risky, threw it towards our net.
Yeah, it's just a slight mechanical thing. You kind of, I can see why you've gone for this. One thing I would generally recommend, if I can get this, it's a bit of an awkward camera angle. See, we kind of, how we air rolled, we kind of jumped off the wall. Air roll with your car sort of flat this way, rather than we're kind of this way at the moment. Try and get this straight on as possible. And then just so you can hit it, you get that hit angle out this way. So whenever we jump off the wall, we can go up this way, but then jump and just 180 and meet this ball this way.
Okay.
It's going to make your hits out a lot easier. You can get this right to midfield doing it this way. Because what you did is the right thing, but you almost made it a little bit hard by turning too tight and trying to come too quick. In this scenario, if you get the boost, go a little bit wider and come more round, and then go this way.
Okay.
Because especially when it's high like this, you've got to ask yourself the question: Is this ball a threat of being scored on our net with this angle?
From where they're at, no. From where I'm at, yeah.
It's
I'm
it's
the threat.
it's highly unlikely that this guy's going to beat you and score this angle, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, just give yourself best of a chance. Drive up further round and give yourself a better hit angle out that way. At this point, it's kind of like if you do see him here, you can try and play it towards this other mid boost. That's a little bit more advanced. But yeah, definitely there's a lot of backboard defense, or backboard defense training packs is how you would say it, I think, that will make that a lot more comfortable. It is a bit tricky at first. Nice. We do shadow quite well. Slightly too far away though again. But you did this. This is your Amber Light scenario. You did this really well here. I don't know what the outcome of this is yet. But we waited until he got his touch. Once we've got his touch, we should be going straight back. Nice. Yeah, and we got to the ball first. So he touched it away and we got the follow. I don't know why your teammate's coming here to hold your hand in the corner. I'm really unsure why he's done that.
D2. It's the current rank that we're playing in right here.
It's almost like everybody's in a rush in Rocket League, especially in the lower ranks. This guy just wants to try and help. He wants to try and help you out because you've just went for the ball. What he should be doing, considering both of you have got no boost, is doing his back post rotation, covering this net. This guy's in a really threatening position. Is this guy a threat of scoring?
No, but he is
Probably not, is it? Yeah, he could,
the passer.
but it's about at this point, it's probably a 5% chance that he can place that on net with power. This is our biggest threat, so he needs to be covering that. The problem when you get too close like this is you might as well just be one car. If he beats one of you and places the ball off there, he's beat both of you for free, and it's an open net. So yeah, if ever you see your teammate in the corner, just cover net. Especially if this guy's, so normally it would be here. This is your general back post rotation, facing out. So there's kind of a little bit of insight. This is going a little bit more in depth. Because this guy's here, we've got two options. We can either stay in this position and give ourselves the best possible chance to save it. Or if we read that he's definitely not shooting this, we can preemptively move towards him and try and cut this off. But that requires a lot of confidence in our teammate as well. But yeah, generally I would stick to this one. If the opponent is in the corner with this guy, if they're both here like this, we wouldn't want to be on back post. We'd want to be sort of in the middle of the goal, facing slightly this way. This is to do with hit angles. So if they're both in this corner, most of their hit angle is going to be like this. Where if he's here, his hit angle could be anywhere in the net. It's a lot easier to save shots from the corner when you're at front post. So just something to remember on positioning on defence. Great follow, great positioning. Teammate can take advantage. Oh, that's unlucky. Yeah, teammate contests the boost, which is nice. Try and leave this boost for teammate. Nice. So you did everything right up until this point.
Should went wider for the back rotation, back net or back post.
Not necessarily back post. Because so this is kind of where Rocket League becomes very situational. Because the ball's moving at pace, by the time we get there, it's going to be around here, isn't it? So what I would do, if you're not going to go for this, make more of this approach. So we can get a little bit more of that positive hit angle. What we kind of do is we come back down and we turn here and then we turn in here. And we have this negative hit angle. Makes us very awkward. But slightly more curved, wider approach. So this is about timing as well. Slightly more curved approach towards here. This ball looks so much more inviting from around this position, doesn't it?
Yeah, a lot more readable and.
But yeah, just if you're gonna do that rotation and follow it and shadow it into the corner, which was the right move to do. If you'd have got a touch off the wall, it's just gonna go back middle. You dealt with everything really well, but yeah, just slight little thing is just widen that off a little bit. Nice turn back. You should have went for that. That should have been yours. Teammate just is trying to do too much at the moment.
So I saw him go up why I went down.
Yeah, he's you're one goal down. You will find this that teammates are going to want to try and do too much. The best thing to do is just let them, just play off them, play around them. You do that well already by the look of it. I can tell that you do play a lot of solo queue. That's a good challenge for a teammate. What am I going to mention?
That big berry sitting in the corner.
Yeah, we kind of miss every single pad.
Every
on our way
pad.
back. And then we also miss the big boost. We do the right thing is staying close to the plane and using attacking, but yeah, you made it a little bit more difficult for yourself than it needed to be. It ends up in a goal anyway, so we get out of it. That's an aggressive cheat from your teammate. That's almost a speed flip. It's almost a speed flip. He's trying to pull shot this in, I think. So he turns, grabs the back boost. Oh, I'm lucky he didn't get the flip. Nice, perfect. Little soft touch into a hard touch. That's why you get the beat then. This is something you'll see Spook Luke talk about a lot as well. I don't know if you've seen many of his videos.
Just watch him all the time.
This little soft
The
touch,
his what was it, the Grand Champ or whatever his
the Grand Champ
coaching
boot
course.
camp, yeah. So you did
That I
this
like, I lost a little bit of respect on.
this little soft touch to the side into the hard touch the other way is what Flakes teaches. It's what Spook Luke teaches. It's what a lot of higher players do. And you absolutely take this guy's ankles because of this. This soft touch without the flip and then flipping into it is brilliant. Lovely control. Especially to have the confidence to do that when you're last man back as well. It was really nice there. And we continue the dribble. Try to get the 50. Lovely. Perfect play. You took that ball from your own net all the way to there with them good decisions.
Be messing up my dash again.
They missed their boosts. It's fine. Teammate actually got it. Much better turn on this one though. Can we do the same thing? Teammate comes down the same side, so as soon as we see him, because we're gonna have like this kind of weird view, as soon as we see him close, I would definitely go further across, let him have that corner. But yeah, it's still a little bit tight, but we're in a much better position here to deal with what comes next. Yeah, we need to get free possession from it as well. So yeah, you're doing a lot of things right. Did you see you're normally Diamond 3 to Champ 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, you play you play better than that, to be honest. I think if we just change a couple of things when we're supporting the player and without boost, I think you could get right up to the top of Champ quite relatively quickly. This is fine. A little bit aggressive here. You kind of
Handing all defensive measures out the window.
what you do is not bad, but you're a little bit off your net. So when we look at this point of view, and we like he is gonna go for this, you know he's gonna go for this. At this point here, we either should be here, waiting to see his shot, or we go quick. These are our two options. I've done them in the wrong colours, but imagine this one's green and this one's red. Either one of them we're going and one of them we're not going. We never want to be halfway in between when the ball comes to our danger area. This is quite an imminent threat. Teammates out of the play, and we kind of do this preemptive turn. We're sort of halfway in between. We're in no man's land at the moment. Once you come out and you get to this point, you kind of need to just commit for this. You can never, like when you're halfway in between, it's going to be a world of hurt. Yeah, ends up in a goal for it. So yeah, either we want to be patient or we want to go as fast as possible. We want to do one or the other in that situation because it's an imminent threat. If he's definitely beating us and he's got control, we just kind of need to wait to see what he's going to do with it. It's going to be difficult to save anyway. But a shot that, if he's here, facing this way and the ball's in front of him, and we use, I mean, obviously it'll be like perception. Your car's only one size. It's only this big. I don't know why I did that when I've got a square. But yeah, your car's only this big, so if we're sat in net, it's this big. He's got all this space to score in. If we close this distance as fast as possible, that same size square is going to be this big. Covers much more of this hit angle. So this kind of a closing the distance, if you can do it quick enough, is the best play.
Okay.
But if you can't get there quick enough, then yeah, we just need to play back post and wait for his shot. Do you have any questions about anything?
So then, be down to break down another replay.
Yeah, I'll finalize this one. Finalize the recording and things. I've got another guy waiting to come in pretty soon, in about half an hour. So I've got another guy already booked in. But we can definitely do another one another time. What I would normally say is I'll write the notes down. I'll record the replay, so I'll put the video in once it's finished rendering and things. I'll do a few bullet points. I normally do 3 to work on for a week. And then we'll basically readdress it in a week or two's time and see what progress we've made and what we need to work on from there. Would be normally the
Okay.
best way to go about it, because I don't want to kind of give you too much to do right now. It can get a little bit overwhelming when you're trying to work on too many things at once. If we just concentrate on 3 things, focus on building them up, and then we can go from there, because I want to build a solid foundation to begin with, and then we can start building on that and getting a little bit more in depth in counter plays and things like that, mechanics and things.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate it. Definitely. The big one is taking their boost.
Yeah, so the
My preemptive terms.
kickoffs is not only how we take them, so it's practicing these diagonal ones and maybe trying out some speed flips, experimenting with these. It's practicing your kickoffs in free play and cheating up. So kickoffs are all combined, basically. So just working on those
Okay.
in general. Remembering our boost lanes and to get the boost pads off the enemy was the other one. And the last one I want you to focus on is not preemptively turning. So you're defending, generally speaking, is really good for a Diamond 3 Champ 1 player. You do a lot of things right. You're generally quite patient as well, which is honestly, it's quite rare to see. But yeah, I'll put all of those notes um into our other chat, and I'll do the video so you can obviously watch it back and refresh it if you need to. And
I appreciate that.
what we'll do when you next week or so, or we'll see sort of what the availability is, and we'll try and get you back in, and we'll build a little bit further, and we'll develop some new skills, because I think you've definitely got potential to go. I think you could, with a bit of practice, I think you could hit GC.
It's something I've been aiming for a while now. It's pretty close for a while. Well, not really close. I mean, Champ 1 is not anywhere near GC still, but
It's not too far off. I mean, you can get, if with the good decision making and half decent mechanics, you can easily hit GC2. Things like that is, see, even everybody has this concept, like perception about Grand Champ being like a good rank. It's still not that great. Grand Champs still make mistakes all the time. It's just the nature of Rocket League. You're gonna make mistakes in a game. It's just about minimizing them as much as possible and forcing our opponents into making as many mistakes as possible. But we all know weird stuff happens. It can always just end up pinching from the opponent's half straight back into your goal, and that is Rocket League.
yeah.
But yeah, obviously we want to give ourselves the best chance possible. But yeah, definitely, I think you actually have a lot of potential. It's nice to see.
Appreciate that.
You're an intelligent player. You're quite a patient player.
Definitely, it's gonna help a lot. Like I said, I've never had any like actual coaching. I've had like my GC friends give me like tidbits, but I think the only one who was like gave me like the most solid piece of advice was like if you're gonna work on a mechanic, just work on your 45-degree flicks.
Yeah,
That's really like the game like to just destroy competitions. Just get that consistent.
yeah, flicks are so powerful in the right situation. They really are. Um, yeah, ground dribbles and flicks and just basic air dribbles are so powerful as well. Not air rolling, just straight air dribbles, straight towards their net. It can. I've seen GC3s miss air dribbles. It happens in the right situation. If you can pop it up nicely and just follow it on and just stay behind the ball, it's so hard for them to clear that. So things like that, but we'll obviously get into that. But yeah, you know that a lot of your decision making is relatively good. It's relatively quite calm and composed, especially when your teammates wanted to stay on the ball and things. So yeah, definitely work on them three things we spoke about, and we'll get back to you, like I say, about a
Well, I
week or so.
appreciate all this, brother.
No,
Because like I said, like this is definitely gonna help a lot.
right, it's all good. I'll get that written up now. But it's been an absolute pleasure,
Yeah,
and
same, brother.
I look forward to hearing from you soon.
Yeah, will do.